give you the markets update now. The JSE facing a subdued global session with investors seeking fresh catalysts, likely in the form of U.S. Federal Reserve minutes on Wednesday. Carmen Mpelwane is portfolio manager at Absa Asset Management, joining us now to unpack some of the latest market moves. Carmen, good morning to you. Let's start with your quick overview of how the JSE has opened in early trade.
Yeah, we're seeing largely flat this morning, just up about 8 bips. And as you've mentioned, I think there's definitely some tailwind around the US close yesterday, which was up, around sentiment that we are likely to see an economic slowdown, and therefore the Fed may be more subdued in terms of its interest rate increases. China also seeing tailwinds from a reduction in the view on risk for an economic slowdown, and that's likely to feed through to the JSE as well.
Let's talk retail sales numbers for the last month of the second quarter coming, and this will, I suppose, will be brought into sharp focus this week. What clues are we likely to get from those numbers? Importantly, about our state of consumer spending at the moment.
Yeah. So consensus is looking for largely flat year on year as well as month on month. So down 20 bips, for the month on month. Is the perspective. And I think, as you've mentioned, you've got to look at the different categories specifically for how these retail numbers will be made up. We have seen a trend where there's been a significant reduction in home improvement and household durable goods, whereas on the other side, on the discretionary, is where we are likely to see some movement. And non-discretionary in terms of food numbers to give us an insight into how the consumer is shifting or adjusting to the higher inflationary environment and the higher price environment. So that'll give us some insight, and then obviously be a read-through to the retail numbers that we expect to come out later in the month.
Let's talk a bit of company news. BHP publishing its final report for the full year, which ended on the 30th of June 2022. Talk us through their performance.
Yeah, so quite strong numbers for BHP, as we've seen. I think the most important part, we've come off the high commodity price sort of rally, and that's come down. But I think more importantly was the guidance that they provided. So significantly in terms of the iron ore guidance, looking to increase that to about 300 million tons. And then by 2023, looking to ensure that we get to about 330 million tons. Also some guidance in terms of capex as well, to say that there will be an increase. Consensus was looking for about 6.3 billion. They've given guidance of I think about 7%. Step change year on year. A lot of that is maintenance in terms of front loading, but they have given an indication that they will look to shift that to investment capital. And I say this because we've seen the mining sector over the last 2 years has not done enough investment, and that's likely to yield a impact in terms of pricing going forward, where supply may be an issue if we do not see a change in the investment cycle.
Let's conclude the conversation with Old Mutual. Now, qualifying South Africans, this includes lower income earners and Old Mutual employees, will now be able to buy the insurance giant's shares. What do we know about Old Mutual's new Black Empowerment share scheme?
It's related to lower income. And a lot of that, therefore, is at the discretion of Old Mutual in terms of how they will mete out the various shares. They have indicated that they will look to offer at about 10 Rand a share compared to the most recent price for closing at 11.52. So there is a discount for this share scheme. It will be opening on Monday for applications and then run until the 24th of October. There's been a lot of motivation and emphasis from Old Mutual that they are looking to inculcate a culture of investment and saving. and in so doing increase their BEE shareholding to 30%. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Carmen Mpelwane, thank you very much for that markets update. And she is the portfolio manager at Absa.